Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday, October 13th. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought we'd talk about, what it takes to start a small engine repair shop. And I'm talking your very basic. One of the things the reason I started this channel was to help people. And I got to read a comment this morning that going to set the pace for today, which is going to be great. Is I had one of you that's 21 that watched a video of mine last year on how to start a small engine repair shop. And he's done it. He's got great customers. He loves it. And he's got passion. But today we're going to talk about different levels of engagement of where, you can start and where you can end up. It's all up to you. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend. Today is Sunday, October 3rd, 2024. So, what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about, this isn't just for the young. This is for everybody. But probably the most that will get the most out of it would be young people and retirees looking to try something different, right? And we can go from the very basic repair shop or repair facility, or it could be out of your back shed. It could be a corner spot in your garage. And you're just looking at ways to make a little extra few bucks. And to me anyways, I know this probably goes against the grain of business, but I think you should try something before you leap in. And when I say leap in, make it a full-fledged, shop, etc., tax IDs, names, everything else. Because it may not be your cup of coffee, or your bag. You don't need a lot of stuff. You can have just the basic tools, that you can buy at Harbor Freight. You just need a little bit of a work area. You need to have a little passion. And you have to have the willingness to want to learn. See, we all can learn and we can all become great at whatever we want if that's what we decide to do, right? But what you're doing in the very beginning phases is you're learning how to run a repair shop. And what do I mean by that? Well, you're a one-man band. You're wearing all the hats. So that means not only are you the owner, you're the customer service, you are the repairman, you are all of the above. And for some of you, it's just helping out friends and family, right? And you're doing it in your spare time. And you're thinking, I kind of like this. And when you're a retiree, you can set how many hours a day you want to work, right? And then you want to take in when you have, it's how much workload you want coming in per week, right? So you're going to dictate how much workload you're willing to spend. And in order to do that, you need to know how much volume you want coming in. Too much, customers are going to complain because you're not getting to them. Not enough, you're not going to have enough work, right? Whereas if you're a teen in their 20s looking to do this, you're probably going to want more work than a retiree because you're looking for something that not only supplements but may also lead into taking the next step, which is getting a business name, tax ID, and joining the ranks of a small engine repair shop. Who can do this? Anybody. I don't care whether you're a boy or a girl, anybody can do this if you have the passion for it. And there's enough YouTube videos out there, and hopefully mine you'll find helpful, of how to do stuff. and how to go about it and my approach. And one thing I've always said, is what I do is I give you advice, right? And I want you to take whatever parts of that advice works for you and your mantra, your marching, that keeps you going ahead, right? Just take what you can use and leave the rest. I've heard some motivational speakers say, well, if you just look at people that are successful and then do exactly what they did, you will be successful. And that's not the case. Not even close. Because you're not that person. And you're not that. You have to do it your own way. Okay? And that means figuring out what it is you want. And then what is it going to take to get to that next step? You don't have to figure out what you want in the end, which you can if you're doing that. But in the very beginning, you're just trying to see if this is going to work. The biggest thing I can tell you right now is debt. Debt will kill you. Is there good debt and bad debt? Yes. It depends on what level you're at. If you're working out of your garage, I would hope that you have no debt. You shouldn't have any debt. Because the tools that you need to do repairs are not that vast, You get a 1/4-inch drive of SAE and metric, maybe 3/8 screwdrivers, T27 torque head wrenches, spark plug removers, the sockets. And a lot of stuff comes with the stamped wrenches where you can just take them out with a, like the chainsaws. Usually when you buy a chainsaw, you get a chainsaw wrench with it that comes with a tightener on one end, and you can take the spark plug out with the other end. I have a few of those around. They work. See, one of the things that I've seen over the years is I've seen people go out and buy what they and have a shop full of tools and clueless of how to use them. What is the sense in having a whole shop full of tools if you don't know how to use them or you won't use them? You should have what you need, right? And what you need to get started in this business could be in a small tackle box, right? It doesn't have to be a vast bunch of stuff. And you can't fake it till you make it, okay? Be honest, be sincere, and be yourself with your customers. And if you're Oscar the Grouch, you're probably in the wrong business, right? Because half the battle is what your customer thinks of you. And then what the customer thinks of the repair. So you got half is you and half is the repair. So if you come across as genuine and willing to help somebody, and that's what we do in a repair shop, is we solve somebody else's problems and get paid for it, right? That's how business works, is a lot of businesses come about because somebody's got a problem and somebody is already looking at how do I solve that problem and make money at it. And the problem that your customers are going to have is my lawnmower won't stay running, my lawnmower is surging, my mower blades are shot, on and on and on. And you also have to be the detective too of, in my shop, what the customer has to say ranks down in here, okay? I listen to them. But in the end, I know that they don't know exactly what it is they're talking about. And sometimes when they're talking about this issue over here, it's actually over here. So one of the things that we do is we have a routine of when every mower that comes in, whether it's a rider or a push, we do a front to back inspection. That's part of the first hour's work, while we're draining the oil filter, spark plugs. So that comes to the next thing is inventory. How much inventory do you need to carry? Not a lot. You can get it as you need it. Or if you're seeing the same things in your area, you can stock up a little bit on parts. But I wouldn't get too heavily laden with buying parts and having them set on the shelf, because it's tying up your money and it's tying up your profits of making money. Will the repairs take a little longer? Yeah, but probably still faster than most repair shops. So what are we talking, as far as starting up a salon engine repair business as a side hustle, or getting your feet wet to see if this is something you like? It doesn't cost a lot of money, guys and gals. You got to have drive and passion to want to be willing to help somebody solve a problem. You want to be able to help somebody, right? But you also need to get paid. That's part of the business side of it, right? And with doing it this way, you're learning, because you have to have the willingness to learn, you're learning how to be good at customer service and how to get better and quicker at repairs, of identifying things quicker, right? And the tools that you need for your repair shop, your little spot in the garage, I would say under $200. Actually, I would say under $100, depending upon what level you're coming in at. And what are the must-haves? Well, if you watch any of my videos, you better have a compression tester, because that's going to solve a lot of your problems right off the bat. Because I would say a third of the equipment that comes in fails right there. And it's going to give you a leaning point of whether maybe the valves are off. All right, so you can adjust the valves, but if you still have no compression, you stop. The other thing that I think is really important is a good set of 1/4-inch drive sockets, because you can do a lot with a metric and SAE. Most of the stuff that's coming through you're going to find is metric. When it comes to riding lawnmowers and push mowers and all that, they're all on a metric system that is used around the world, so that the same bolt, the same this, the same that, no matter what country you're in, right? But you will run into some things that you want a standard set. But I would say probably 80% of the time, 90% of the time, I'm using metric. And it's my 1/4-inch drive. As far as a good set of sockets, if you go to Harbor Freight, you can buy a socket set that has a 1/4, 3/8, and half, right? And a lot of times they have the spark plug sockets right in that kit. And you can buy that for under $100, and have everything you need right there. Screwdrivers, under $15. And I'll tell you, a lot of my stuff has come from going to auctions and buying miscellaneous stuff that laying around, making sets out of them. But you're learning all these different things, and you're if it doesn't work out or it isn't what you wanted to do, you don't have a lot of debt. And the tools that you do end up with, you probably could use on some of your own stuff at times, right? I would suggest getting 2 spark testers, unless you got somebody that is willing to put their hand on the plug when you pull it over to see if they light up. But I'm going to start ending it here. What I want from you guys is, what can I do to help you succeed? What advice can I give you that you're looking for right now? instead of me shooting in the dark, because, I may be off track of what you actually want and need, and I may be able to offer some great advice on something that you're going through right now of what you're coming up against. And that's how I decide on what videos to make, is if there's somebody here that needs something, whether it be just advice or whether it's how to repair something, then I try to do a video on it, because I know that if one person has that question, good chances are there's others that aren't willing to ask. So that's my thing for you guys, is what is it that I can do to help you succeed in life and in business. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday. And again, thanks so much for watching and subscribing and making the channel what it is. Because we started off at nothing, right? And we did it together. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday.